It didn't start with a gunfight or a drone strike. It started with a small, almost invisible clue. A man driving an old white car through the streets of Pakistan. The CIA had been hunting bin Laden since 2001. Behind every secret mission, there's a story no one tells. And this one changed history. But here's the crazy part. It didn't start with a gunfight or a drone strike. It started with a small, almost invisible clue. A man driving an old white car through the streets of Pakistan. The CIA had been hunting bin Laden since 2001. Every lead they found went cold within days. But in 2007, they got a name, Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, a man rumored to be bin Laden's personal courier. No one had seen bin Laden for years. But if they could find the man who delivered his messages, they might just find him too. For months, agents tracked al-Kuwaiti's car. He moved carefully, never used a phone, never stayed in one place too long. But every few weeks, he visited one strange compound in a quiet city called Abbottabad. It looked ordinary, white walls, small windows, a few trees inside. But there was something off. The walls were nearly 4 meters high. No telephone lines, no internet cables. And strangely, no trash ever left the property. They burned it in the yard. To most people, it was just another house. To CIA analysts, it looked like a fortress. A house for someone important. Maybe the most wanted man in the world. By late 2010, they were almost certain. Bin Laden was there. The decision. By early 2011, the CIA had enough evidence to take a risk. They brought the case straight to the White House. In a closed room, a small group of people began to meet. The president, top intelligence officials, and the head of the CIA. They didn't have photos, they didn't have recordings. Only patterns, shadows, and a single belief. Bin Laden was there. Weeks of debate followed. Should they strike with a drone, drop a bomb, or risk sending soldiers into a foreign country without permission? A drone strike could destroy proof. A bomb might kill civilians. But a ground raid, that could give them certainty, or turn into an international disaster. Finally, after endless meetings, they made a choice. Operation Neptune Spear. A covert night raid. No one outside that room could know. Not even Pakistan's own government. The team chosen was legendary. Navy SEAL Team 6. Men trained for years to handle missions that officially don't exist. They built a full-scale replica of the compound in a secret base in North Carolina. Every wall, every hallway, every turn, rebuilt in perfect detail. For weeks, the SEALs practiced in silence. They entered, cleared, retreated, again and again, until every man knew his move by heart. The rehearsals became muscle memory. When the real night came, there'd be no thinking, only instinct. But there was another secret part of the plan. The helicopters. 2 modified Black Hawks, painted dark gray, built to fly low and quiet. They were so new, even some of the pilots had never flown them before. Everything was ready. The SEALs had their target. The president gave the green light. And somewhere in Pakistan, completely unaware, bin Laden went to sleep for the last time. Part 3, The Raid. May 2, 2011, around 1 a.m. local time. The 2 modified Black Hawks lifted off from a base in eastern Afghanistan and flew low, following the contours of the terrain to stay under radar. Inside each aircraft, 23 Navy SEALs sat in silence, helmets on, night vision ready, weapons staged. As they crossed the border, the team's radios were quiet. There was no chatter, only the low thrum of the rotors. At approximately 1:10 a.m., the first Black Hawk descended toward the compound. Something went wrong. Hot air currents in the compound's tall walls disrupted the aircraft's aerodynamics. The helicopter lost lift and crashed into the courtyard. There were no catastrophic injuries from the crash. The SEALs reacted immediately. Training took over. The second helicopter landed safely just outside the compound. Its team disembarked and moved toward the wall to support the men already on the ground. They used explosives to breach the outer gate and forced entry into the first floor. The operation had moved from careful observation to rapid action. 2 guards engaged them immediately. Both were killed in the opening exchange of fire. The SEALs moved systematically, clearing rooms methodically. They pulled women and children out of harm's way and kept pushing toward the upper floors. On the second floor, a brief firefight erupted. One of the residents, later identified as a son of the household, resisted and was killed in the exchange. Every step was fast, practiced, and precise. The men moved without shouting, with gestures and rehearsed signals. At roughly 1:20 a.m., they reached an inner door on the 3rd floor. Behind it stood an older man, later confirmed as Osama bin Laden, age 54. He was unarmed. He did not cooperate. According to official accounts, a SEAL fired 2 rounds, one to the chest and one above the left eye. The confrontation ended within seconds. The man who had been the focus of a decade-long hunt was dead. The SEALs did not linger. They photographed the scene, identified the body as thoroughly as possible on site, and began collecting material evidence: laptops, hard drives, documents, anything that might reveal networks. To protect classified technology, they disabled and destroyed the crashed Black Hawk. Sensitive components were removed and destroyed on site. They prepared the body for transport. The SEALs then departed the compound, carrying critical material and the remains, all under the cloak of night. From touchdown to takeoff, the on-site operation lasted roughly 40 minutes. Every movement, every decision had been rehearsed, and it showed. Later, identity confirmation would be completed through facial recognition and DNA testing, and the body would be buried at sea within 24 hours, according to the administration's account. The immediate objective was achieved. The target was neutralized, evidence was retrieved, and the team extracted without a larger firefight or escalation. The night was over, but the questions were just beginning, about legality, about consequences, about what the recovered documents would reveal. In the final part, we'll look at what came after: the confirmation, the global reaction, and the long shadow this raid left on modern conflict. Part 4, Aftermath and Confirmation. By dawn, the world still slept unaware of what had just happened. Inside a secure location, analysts began the painstaking work of confirming the identity. Facial recognition, DNA samples, dental records, every method possible. Within hours, they were certain. Osama bin Laden, the man behind countless attacks, the world's most wanted, was dead. The president addressed the nation that evening: "Justice has been done." No politics, no blame, just the confirmation of a decade-long hunt.
After nearly 10 years of service, struggle, and sacrifice, we know well the costs of war. We will be relentless in defense of our citizens and our friends and allies. We will be true to the values that make us who we are. And on nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done.
The operation became a case study in covert missions. How careful planning, intelligence, and adaptability can achieve results in the most challenging environments. Today, the story of that night is told not as politics, not as revenge, but as a report of a mission executed with precision, courage, and risk. And while debates will continue, One thing is clear. The operation forever changed how the world views covert military action. From the shadows of Abbottabad to the headlines around the world. The hunt, the raid, the confirmation, a decade-long story of pursuit, finally concluded.